Now, it could work the other way around it. I might have to make the siren fit a piece of library music that I really can't change the tempo on. So let's get rid of these sirens. Just select them all and delete them from the timeline, and bring in the pristine, unedited siren from before. Again, I want to trim off this piece of business at the beginning in shuffle mode and make it snap over to the beginning of the timeline. And let's say that our library music is not at 105. That would be too easy. So we'll pick a number that's, 112. Just to pick a number out of the air. And now the music and the sound effect really aren't getting along. The pace is different, so let's see what we can do about that. So we'd still have to find our area where the low pitch on the siren, and the sync point went away when I deleted the clip that contained it. So let's see if we can, and we're going to need to be in slip mode here with free range of motion. It was somewhere in this area. Just looking at the waveform here. Somewhere in there. Now, I do remember that it was about 4 and some seconds. So if I switch over to minutes and seconds, I think it was around the 4:07 mark. And there's 4.5. I'll take that. So we'll make our edit there. We'll get rid of the latter part of the siren there. And I'll switch back to bars and beats. Into grid mode. And we'll use the time compressor trimmer, zoom in just a little bit here, to trim him to bar 3. And let's duplicate a couple times and hear how this grooves with the drums now. So we've made the siren fit the music in this case. Now there are limits to this. Let me undo this a little bit and back to the time shifted one. So if I changed my tempo to, let's say, 85 beats a minute, and I make my siren conform to 85, that actually held up pretty well, better than I expected. So now let's duplicate this and see. All right, that's the most unthrilling card chase I've ever heard. So let's change its tempo to, if you're in the 85 range, you may as well just go for the double to 170 and get. And then we'll look at 2 of these against a faster tempo. Well, that's a more interesting card chase than at 80 beats a minute or 85. And now we're spreading the siren across 4 bars of music instead of the 2 that we had earlier. So there are a couple of examples of using the plugins creatively to accomplish sound design goals involving time or tempo. So we can use the pitch plugins on Sound Effects too, and that's up next.